Welcome back to RadioActive Official Podcast. I'm your co-host with the most, Ian Troy Eldridge, and I have a very special guest here tonight. I've known this guy for, God, what's it been, like 11 years?
Something like that. Yeah. I'm not really too sure how long. It's been probably 10 plus years, I'd say.
Right on. Yeah, man, what's it been, like 10 years, maybe 11?
Something like that. Yeah, it's been a while. I've had a lot of crazy party nights. We've had a lot of crazy nights together, you know.
Oh my God. Yeah, so for point of reference here, guys, we used to party in this basement in particular.
Yeah. It's crazy being back.
Quite often in the college years, for sure. That was always such a fun time. But it's good to have you on. Do you want to introduce yourself for everybody?
Yeah, sure. I'm glad to be on. First off, my name is Corey Harper. I'm the lead vocalist in Bleed Black. I've been in the band for, it's going to be 6 months next week, actually. So I'm kind of fresh, kind of new. I've been doing vocals for 10 plus years, though. So not too new to that, but yeah.
I love it, man. That's so fire. So tell us a little bit about Bleed Black. So I guess you're a new member or pre-existing member. Kind of tell us how you came to be a part of the project, man.
Right. So Scotty Tolliver, my dear friend, I grew up skateboarding with him, and now he's in the band. He's the guitarist.
Okay.
And now he used to be vocals for the band. He kind of started off with Alec Toth. He's the drummer, still currently the drummer for Bleed Black, and so they kind of started out together with some other members at the time. They got phased out, things happened, and then it remained Scotty and Alec, and then they brought in Landon, which is the other guitarist. He does a lot of the solos and stuff, and then after him came along Gideon. He's the youngest in the band. He's the bassist, the low end to Bleed Black, and then me. And so basically how it started is I grew up skateboarding with Scotty, and we used to do music here and there, just kind of messing around, not doing anything too serious.
Sure.
He started out on guitar, and then he learned drums, and then he learned vocals. So he can really do a lot. He's a very, very talented man, and he reached out to me about 6 months ago or so, and he's like, hey, like, I'm kind of done doing vocals. I just want to be back in guitar, like, be back in my roots. Like, I know you can do vocals. Do you want to take over? And I was like, sure. Like, I kind of always wanted to be in a band, but was too afraid to try, and now I'm here. I've done multiple shows, and it's a great time. Great people in the band, great time. Met some cool other bands doing shows and stuff, so it's a great experience for sure.
I love that, man. I love that so much. So I want you to kind of tell us about some up-and-coming projects that you guys have in the works. Are you guys going to be doing any tours of any kind? Are you going to be releasing any new music? Let us know what you have going on.
Right, so currently we're just doing a lot of local shows. We've had probably like 10 shows under our belt since I've been in here, roughly that amount. We have another 8 or 9 coming up, roughly. But yeah, we're playing, we got 3 shows coming up. I got the dates all on my phone. We got a show coming up in, I think, Sinkhole. Let me make sure I can check that. But as far as projects go, we have an EP. It's really no surprise. We've done a lot of newer stuff, unreleased stuff in our live shows. So it's like clearly we got something working back there. You know what I mean? Like something in the works. Let me find it in my notes real quick. Yeah, so we have April 19th, Utopia is the location. It's over by Central West End. May 8th, we got a show at the Heavy Anchor. May 25th at Sinkhole, and many more. And that's on our Instagram page, all the shows. So if anyone wants to know the other ones coming up, they can check that. So yeah.
Dude, I love the Heavy Anchor so much. I actually do a poetry reading at the Heavy Anchor on the last Wednesday of every month, and it's just such an awesome venue. The staff is really good, very polite, very personable people. and it's just a good atmosphere overall, man. I love the Heavy Anchor so much.
That's awesome. I've never been.
Dude,
I have a buddy from No Antics. He's played there numerous times. He, Dee Dee Ludbrook and our friend Tyler, they've played there a bunch of times at the Heavy Anchor, so I've always wanted to play there.
Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
It's a great fucking venue, man. Really, it's just unmatched, really. It's just kind of a neat hidden gem in St. Louis. I mean, truly. I kind of want to throw a curveball your way.
Okay, yeah.
I want to know if you have any plans to do any collaborations with other groups locally. Do you have any plans to collaborate?
That's a really good question. Actually, yeah. So shout out Coagulating Band. They do a lot of slam metal, a lot of really, really heavy stuff. So we're friends with that whole band. We got, the vocalist Seth, the bassist Chris, and then you got on the drums Forrest. He's a monster on the drums. They're all really good. It's a 3-piece band. They're super talented. They're all a little bit younger, 20 years old. They're amazing. And we play with them numerous times now. And we actually, I offered Seth to come on stage and do Guilt with us, which is one of our classic songs that we have that I learned when Scotty wrote that back in the day. But so I had him come on stage and he kind of did backup vocals for me, and that was my first collab ever, and I was honored because he's super talented. So I told him, I was like, hey, when we get in the studio and work on an EP or something, I mean, we'd love to have you. And he was like, yeah, dude, I'm totally down, because he's got some gnarly vocals that we could do some cool stuff with. So
if you could kind of pick a different genre of music, right? Like aside from metal and alternative rock, like maybe rap, hip hop, country, indie rock, something like that. If you had the opportunity to collaborate with another artist from another genre, would you? And what would you pick in particular, and why?
Yeah, so I mean, I'd love to do that. I've been listening to a lot of Lord Huron recently. So he's kind of like some folk music type of deal. I wouldn't know the exact genre, so nobody come for me on that. But I've been listening to a lot of his stuff recently. Like, I'm at work, I'll be doing my thing, and I'll have him in my ear, listening to Lord Huron. He's got some good stuff. So he's aside from metal genre, that's who I like to listen to. A lot of the band Bill Murray, they're really good. They're kind of a hybrid between they got a touch of country in there, but they're still metal.
Okay.
And not everybody can do it, but they can mix it very, very well. They mastered it. So they're really good. I listen to a lot of Bill Murray on the way to work, on the way to band rehearsal, So Bill Murray, I mean, he actually played with Sleep Token recently.
No shit.
Which is huge. Yeah, that Sleep Token reached out to him and they were like, hey, who's someone you want to come on and open up for you? And they're like, oh, Bill Murray. And they weren't crazy big at the time. And so, that whole band, they're like, yeah, we're going to do that, so they opened up for them. And I seen the live videos and stuff. I wish I could have showed up, but yeah, I seen the live videos. It's crazy. So Bill Murray, and to answer your question, Bill Murray and Lord Huron probably.
I love Sleep Token, dude. I've been bopping a lot of Sleep Token lately. Emergence in particular. That is such a great song to kind of bang your head to in the car on the way home from work.
Yeah, Granite's pretty good. I've listened to Granite numerous times. Yeah.
Love Granite.
It's classic for sure.
So much.
Yeah.
And I got my record player over here with some vinyls, but I picked up the soundtrack to A Complete Unknown, that movie about Bob Dylan. If you have not seen it, Corey, I highly recommend if you like folk music in particular.
Right, yeah, okay, cool.
The album's also solid, too. Like some of Bob Dylan's best songs. Joan Baez is on there, Johnny Cash. It's all really good stuff. Yeah. So we kind of touched base on some upcoming projects you have, as well as some dream collaborations, but I want to know, Corey, did you go to any shows in 2024? And if you did, what were 3 in particular that really stuck out to you, and why?
So the first one that really, really sticks out to me is the band Throne.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they won an award not too long ago for being one of the best metal bands with the best live performance. And I can personally attest to that. That is extremely accurate. I met some really cool people, one of which, my friend Blake, shout out Blake, he's one of my close friends now. I met him at that concert. He's a wild guy. Dylan White. He went to Oakville. You know,
I know.
You might know Dylan White. Yeah, so
I know Dylan.
He was there. I was best friends with him. I didn't see him in like a while, and I found him in the pit. So it was a good time there. But Throne, their performance was just mind blowing. Like there's people in the pit that don't normally just jump in the pit. Like there was a gnarly pit there. They played with Wage War. Wage War was also absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that whole concert was really cool. Yeah, I don't really go to a crazy amount of shows. I don't know. I'm kind of a cheapskate in that way. but there's so many shows I want to go to. You know what I mean? So,
Sure.
But Throne definitely stands out to me. That's the only one I can think of at the moment. A Day to Remember I saw a couple years ago. That's not too recent.
No, we ran into each other.
You were there. That's right.
Fucking
Yeah,
pit, man.
dude. Yeah.
We were in that pit, and I remember it happening. I ran into you. I grabbed you. I'm like, Corey, is that you?
Yeah, dude, that was an insane show.
That was a great show, dude.
Yeah, the beach ball being tossed around during a Day to Remember set.
Oh my god,
That was so awesome.
That Caleb Shomo, man. I mean, he just knows how to do it right.
That was awesome. I was pretty intoxicated that show, just in the pit, like most of the time. That was a good time for sure. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a really good one. I want to take an opportunity here to touch base on something that not a lot of people really they don't give it the time of day that they should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that this is something that's overlooked more often than not. And it's a damn shame because we lose a lot of people every year to suicide and just mental health related deaths. And I just kind of want to know, for you, Corey, being somebody who works full time, you're in a band, and you have other passions that you enjoy.
Right.
It's not always peaches and cream, so to speak. And I just kind of want to know, what are some good coping mechanisms, some good support systems that you find personally really help you just get through life, get through your day?
Right. So I mean, it's going to sound cliche because the topic, but I mean, metal music. I mean, it's really cathartic. You know what I mean? Like you're in your car and like, I mean, obviously I do vocals, so like I'll be screaming along to a song that's very, very cathartic. You know what I mean? It's very enjoyable. So that skateboarding, you know me, I've been skateboarding for years and years and years. I mean, that can also be frustrating in its own right at some points when you can't land a certain trick, but it's always been like a good go-to to just kind of cruise around and feel a good moment. So there's that. The gym. I mean, I know you just came back from the gym not too long ago.
Yeah.
I saw that on your Snapchat story. Yeah, so I've been on that grind too, just kind of doing that, and so the gym definitely really helps. Just a lot of aggressive ways to be cathartic. You know what I mean? And I drink sometimes, and I'm not gonna lie, that's a coping mechanism. Not one I'm too proud of, but I got some other healthy ones. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I tell you what, man, there's something so beautiful about this community, right? This metal community, this alternative rock community. Everybody is there for one another. You know, you can bump into somebody at random, and if you're at a metal show, something similar, chances are they're gonna look at you and be like, "Hey, man, like, I'm happy you're here. Let's go get in the pit. Let's go have some fun. You know, just hang in there," right? There's something to be said about how powerful this genre of music in particular is. It speaks to those who are afflicted with a certain sadness that over time they learn to conquer. And I believe that a major piece that helps them move along in life is metal and rock and roll. And I'm so happy that it is alive and thriving in this day and age, man.
100%. I agree. I mean, I have ADHD pretty bad, so like I've learned to cope with it over the years and embrace it in my own right. And I think that's a big reason why I like metal music so much, is just the pure energy I can relate to. And with the ADHD, my energy's got to go somewhere. You know what I mean? All right, jump in the pit or scream some tunes. You know, it's like it's a very, very good outlet for someone that has ADHD. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. So that's not the only reason, but a big reason why I'm a big fan of that genre in general. So yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So, Corey, we have reached the point of the interview where we kind of dive into the signature radioactive question. And this is a doozy, man, so get ready, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, Corey, let's say you and Bleed Black are you're on tour, you're on your tour bus or RV, van, whatever it is you guys use to travel from point A to point B, right? Mm-hmm. You're on the road, it's a dark and stormy night, all this spooky doom and gloom shit, right? And your van breaks down and your only place of refuge is a haunted house, right? Okay, you're in the haunted house, and from dusk until dawn,
that sounds fun already.
You are haunted by a dead celebrity of your choosing. Okay? Who do you want to haunt you and why?
Dead celebrity. That's a good question.
Dead celebrity. Do you want to hear the top 3 answers? Would that help you?
Yeah, let's hear that.
Okay, so we have Betty White. Betty White is number 1.
Yeah, Betty White for sure, yeah.
I think Michael Jackson's up there too. Shit. Billy Mays, he was up there for sure. Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Chester Bennington, he's up there too.
Chester, oh, that's a super good one, yeah. Mitch Lucker, man.
Who?
Mitch Lucker, yeah. Suicide Silence.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yep.
Hell yeah, man.
The good old Mitch Lucker stomp.
I love that answer. So much. Corey, we're going to play a little game here, okay?
All right.
It's called This or That. And kind of how this works, Corey, is I just say one thing and then another, right? And whichever floats your boat, whichever tickles your fancy, you go that, right?
Right.
All right. So it's Easter. I have to know, do you prefer a chocolate hollow bunny or a chocolate filled bunny?
Hollow. I don't know why. It's better that way. I can't explain it. It's just better. Just overall.
All right. Do you like sour candy or do you prefer peanut butter oriented candy?
Peanut butter, probably because the protein that's sometimes involved in that.
Attaboy. All right. Do you prefer rainy days or clear blue skies?
Clear blue skies, but I'm starting to see the aesthetic in the rainy days. So.
Love that.
But still, clear blue skies.
Are you somebody that likes to go hiking in the mountains or hiking in the woods?
That's a hard one because they're both. I've been to Oregon, I've been to Michigan, I've been Colorado. I've had more opportunity being in Missouri to hike in the woods, so I'd like to say the mountains.
Hell yeah, love that. All right, we're gonna do hot tub or swimming pool.
Probably for the same reason that I've been in more pools than hot tubs. I'd say hot tub.
Hot tub?
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. If you could have a pet, would it be a duck or a bunny?
It's tough. Probably a bunny.
Bunny?
My good buddy Dylan Jones. He's got a bunny rabbit named Oreo. Love her. Yeah. Love her. Bunny. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Oreos, we're gonna do Oreo or Thin Mint.
Thin Mint. We just had this conversation earlier. Yeah, off camera we had this conversation. Supplement Superstore, Thin Mint protein shake. We both tried it. It was so good.
Last one. St. Patrick's Day or Easter?
I feel obligated to say Easter because it's coming up. St. Patty's, there's a lot of drinking involved, and I love my drinking. But I also love chocolate, chocolate bunnies and chocolate hollow bunnies. I think St. Patty's.
St. Patty's?
Yeah. I still love me some Easter, though. I got some really good family memories, with Easter, but probably St. Patty's, yeah.
I'd have to say St. Patty's Day too, man, because
it's a riot. It's fun.
The people that watch this show know that St. Pat's is something I take very seriously. It's a really good tradition, and I wear this fucking Easter Bunny costume every year and get hammered. So
that's awesome.
Say St. Patty's Day too. All right, Corey. So we've kind of reached the end of the interview, but I just kind of want to know. Do you have anything personal going on? Do you have any personal projects that you want to work on? And just kind of let the people watching what you have going on, what you want to do with the new year.
So I will say that our band has decided to go in a slightly heavier direction. I'm extremely excited for that. We just started working on a song. I showed you a little bit of that behind the scenes. And so I'm really excited that we're going to have some new music coming out. We're always working on new music, but this stuff's a little bit heavier. I'm really excited about that stuff coming out. That EP as well. So we're working on that currently. So yeah, we have that stuff coming out. As far as anything else personal goes, there's not too much. I'd like to do some solo stuff down the line. I got to invest in some better mics, some microphones and stuff. I already have a little studio in the works at my place, so I'd like to do some solo stuff on the side, so that'd be pretty fun. So yeah, that's probably more down the road, but to answer your question, yeah, I'd say we're getting heavier, so we got some new stuff, and then some new stuff coming out. So
when you say solo projects, is it going to be strictly metal, or do you maybe want to throw some rap or dubstep in there, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, so mainly metal. Okay. I'm a really big fan of Thornhill and Loathe, that band, and Deftones. So I'd like to do some singing. I've done that for years as well, and so I'd love to do something like that. Throw some of that in there on a separate project, because I just kind of feel like in Bleed Black there's really not a place to add clean vocals in, and honestly I'm totally cool with that. I think that just our sound is meant to not have clean vocals. We've kind of stuck with that, and we're going to remain to stick with that. But on the side, I would definitely love to do some clean vocal stuff on a separate platform, So yeah, I'd say solo stuff and then the EP and stuff is what's coming out.
Love that, man. Do you have any questions for me while we have some time on our hands here?
Yeah, how long has RadioActive been a thing, man?
So RadioActive actually started in 2019.
Okay.
I joined the project in 2022. It was the fall of 2022. Mm-hmm. So I actually met Victoria. This is a really cool story. I met Victoria on social media, right? Mm-hmm. Because about 2 to 3 weeks before I even met her and thus joined the project, I went to Cincinnati, Ohio to go see Black Veil Brides, Ice Nine Kills, Motionless in White, and We Came as Romans. And that trip was special in particular because
sounds like a good trip.
Andy Biersack's dad invited me and a select group of fans to not only go to the show, but have lunch with him and then take us on a tour of Andy Biersack's old stomping grounds in Cincinnati, Ohio. And
that's huge. Wow.
Really big secret here. Not a lot of people know this, but we got to see Chris Biersack's man cave, dude. And
that's awesome, dude.
All Black Veil Brides memorabilia, paraphernalia, and it was just wow. I mean, it was exquisite. The whole experience was just divine. I mean, and some of the people in that little group knew Victoria, and Victoria reached out to me and was like, hey, I do this podcast. I'm looking for a co-host. And I jumped. I'm like, hey, pick me. And she goes, okay, you're on. Let's do it. And the rest is history, man. We've been working together for 3 years. And I'm going to meet her in June. So I'm really looking forward to that, man.
Awesome. That's exciting, dude. Yeah, I didn't know that whole background. That's really cool, dude. That's awesome. That's a really cool story.
Hell yeah, man. Well, Corey, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And
of course, man.
From my family to yours, happy Easter, man.
Happy Easter, man. It's a pleasure being on. Thank you so much, dude.
Oh, fuck.
There goes the mic.